Hello dear viewers, welcome to One World YouTube channel. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe to our channel. Iceland, the last Viking land, how the Vikings settled the last unclaimed island. The aim of this video is to blend historical facts with a compelling narrative about Iceland's unique settlement history, culture, and environment. Watch until the end. Iceland, land of fire and ice, where volcanoes erupt beneath glacier and midnight sun dances across the horizon. But beneath its breathtaking landscapes lies a fascinating history, the story of a people who arrived here long after most of the world's civilizations had already taken root. Welcome to Iceland, the country of the last settlers. Section 1. The Settlement Era. While most of Europe and Asia had been settled for thousands of years, Iceland remained untouched until the late 9th century. At this time, the Vikings, fierce seafarers from Scandinavia, were expanding their territories, navigating uncharted waters. In 874 AD, a Norseman named Ingolfur Arnason became the first known permanent settler of Iceland. In many ways, Iceland is the last of the great European islands to be settled by humans. The Vikings were drawn to this isolated land not just for its beauty, but for the opportunity to start anew. And start anew they did. Section 2. The Viking Legacy. The Viking settlers brought their own customs, language, and traditions, laying the foundations for a society that would thrive in the harshest of conditions. What made Iceland so special was its ability to remain independent for centuries, with a unique social structure, including the Althing, the world's oldest continuous parliament. Founded in 930 AD. For centuries, Iceland was a remote outpost of the Viking world, with no large cities and only a sparse population. Iceland became a land of opportunity for those seeking a fresh start, free from the power struggles and political constraints of other kingdoms. Section 3. The Geographic Isolation. Geographically, Iceland is an isolated island in the North Atlantic, far from the conflicts and turmoil that plagued Europe during the medieval period. Its isolation meant that Icelanders developed a culture and way of life that was distinctly their own. It also meant that Iceland had a level of freedom and autonomy that many neighboring lands could not claim. Iceland is a country shaped by nature itself. Volcanoes, geysers, and geothermal energy have defined life on the island. The constant presence of volcanic activity, such as eruptions and the creation of new land, parallels the resilience of the Icelandic people, who learn to adapt and thrive in such an extreme environment. Section 4. The Language and Culture. One of the most remarkable aspects of Iceland's history is its language. Icelandic, spoken by the country's inhabitants today, is the closest living language to Old Norse, the language of the Viking settlers. In many ways, Iceland is a living museum of the Viking era, with its literature, sagas, and oral traditions passed down through generations. The Icelandic sagas, written in the medieval period, are a testament to the Viking settlers' legacy. These epic tales of heroism, feuds, and exploration have shaped Iceland's identity and cultural pride. The people of Iceland still identify deeply with these stories, which bind the past with the present. Section 5. The Modern Age and Population. In the modern age, Iceland is a country of just over 350,000 people, making it one of the least populated countries in Europe. Despite its small size, Iceland punches well above its weight in terms of global influence, particularly in the realms of environmental sustainability, innovation, and arts. Despite its isolated beginnings, Iceland has become a beacon of modernity. It has one of the highest standards of living in the world, and its residents are known for their close connection to the land and a rich sense of community. Section 6. Iceland today, a country shaped by the last settlers. Iceland may be a small island, but its story is one of resilience, adaptation, and discovery. The country's isolation allowed its settlers to carve out a way of life uniquely their own, shaping a modern society deeply rooted in the past. Iceland, the country of the last settlers, is a place where the ancient and the modern coexist in harmony, where a culture that began with a few Viking ships has grown into one of the most distinctive nations on Earth. In a world constantly changing, Iceland remains a place where history and nature, old and new, meet at the edge of the world. A reminder that sometimes the last settlers leave the most lasting legacy. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible stories from the edges of the earth.